Did we get back on? Oh my goodness. It's still storming like crazy here. And I'm hoping everybody pops back on. I caught all your messages. So I'm going to be pulling cards for Bridget, Mary, Jody, Bethany, and Krista. So if I don't hear from you guys to know which specific ones you wanted, I know that Bridget, Mary, and Bethany wanted an animal card, but Jody and Krista, let me know if you want the herbal tarot or the animal card. And it's still like storming like crazy here. So in case I get bumped off again, I don't know, maybe Spirit's telling me not right now, let's not do this. But I'm hoping a few of you will pop back on. Okay, so just to recoup. Okay, this is for Monday, Tuesday. Can you guys see this? This is Saul Palmetto, King of Cups. We talked about that, kind of summing it up. Knowing how to navigate the emotional spectrum. Not assigning good or bad to things. Now we're in for Thursday, Six of Wands. This is some fire energy. I think it's kind of much needed. We've been in a lot of earth and water energy, all in our feelings and trying to get grounded. Fire energy is good for getting things moving. Sort of being the catalyst, you know, when we discovered fire, it changed a whole bunch of things for us. So, and of course, I am a fire sign, Sagittarius, so I'm partial to fire energy. But it is one of those, if you do not know how to harness fire energy, you can get burned. So not to fear it, but to respect it. And fire energy has the ability to change things in ways we had no earthly idea how to do. If anybody is familiar with the fire walks, Heather Ashabara does fire walks. She's part of the Warrior Goddess training. My mentor, Carrie Hummingbird, she runs fire walks. And they're really powerful. I haven't done one yet myself, but it reminds me of, and I'm going off a little tangent about fire energy here, but your mind essentially can tell you if something is hot or cold. And if you give your spirit over to the fire, it's allows you to walk over these really hot coals without getting burned. It can be a really profound experience. I'm hearing some crazy sounds outside. So, Six of Wands. Hawthorne. Jupiter and Leo. Okay, a warrior appears triumphant after a minor conflict. The mood is one of tentative victory. The contenders have left their staves or their wands behind and seem to have deserted the battlefield. Perhaps they've decided that the prize is not, after all, worth the struggle, thus leaving the victor the problem of confronting the true worth of his achievement. So, be sure that what you're struggling to achieve is worth the price of time and energy expended. You may find others acquiescing and stepping aside simply because they've decided the possible gain is not worth the potential loss. The exception to this is the value of undergoing a challenging or difficult task for the sake of personal growth and realization. Such exercises are often done as an initiation rite. So sometimes you go through these experiences and you feel like, well, that was just the biggest, hugest waste of time, or, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. Why did I put myself through that? There's some lesson in there because you maybe had to go through it just to tell yourself, now I can see more clearly. And like it was saying, it's an initiation rite. Okay, so you know you went through that, you made some decisions that may or may not have been foolish or appeared to be, at the time, a waste of time. But nothing is ever really a waste of time. It's important for your evolution, your soul journey. Remember, however, each moment of our lives offers an opportunity to rise above our limitations. Sometimes when we keep coming up on these situations where we think, I should be further along by now. I should, you know, why is this thing that I thought was resolved coming back for me? They're actually a sign that you are right where you're supposed to be, and that you are given an opportunity to make a different decision this time. You're given an opportunity to make a wiser choice this time. And so we may not be up to them all, so we should learn to choose those opportunities that offer the most good for all. Sometimes the same situation comes up, so you can learn how to say, no thank you, and don't engage at all. And realize, like, you can skip this whole mess altogether because you've been down that road, you know what it's going to be about, and now instead of engaging in the drama of it, you know it's more beneficial to you to skip out on it. So that's what a rite of passage is. That's what a rite of initiation is. Like, you've reached a whole new level of looking at things. This may be a time for self-confidence and pride in leadership and teamwork abilities. Be open for messages from within or from the world around you as to what you're to do next. I like that. Be open for messages from within or from the world around you as to what you're to do next. So I always look for signs and symbols. Like, it's just one of those things now. The hawthorn will help to release a person from feelings of disharmony and even hate. It will reinstate inner calm and poise after a period of conflict and struggle. This may be if you're in the middle of some sort of recovery process and you're feeling a lot of, like, really negative emotions, you know, you're angry, you're mistrustful, you're whatever, all this stuff is coming up. This is to help you realize, like, this is temporary. You're not going to stay in this state. You don't intend to stay in this state. And it is a passage. Passage implies that you are going to move through it, like a dark night of the soul. For every night, there is a dawn. So understand that you have the down cycle of something, and you will also have the up cycle of things. This is that combination of understanding the full spectrum of your emotions. The heart chakra will be fortified, and a greater sense of ease and self-love will be renewed. I can't emphasize just how much the importance of self-love is. When you're really, how do I put this? When you're really all in your negativity, it's really hard to understand this. It's like, I don't believe in that. That sounds like false positivity. That sounds like a bunch of airy-fairy crap, whatever. But self-love really means you have reached a place where you know how to honor yourself. You honor every piece of you, every dark corner, nook, cranny, and every light part of you as well. And it's also where you learn how to not tolerate feeling bad anymore. That's self-love. Okay, so there's so many things here. Not letting yourself get to a state where you're closed off. Your heart chakra is closed off. That's self-love. You can only receive love from others to the extent that you know how to hold love for yourself. So hawthorn berries combine mildly sedative and calming properties. Herbalists regard it as a gentle but effective remedy for problems of the heart and the circulatory system. As such, it is used for arteriosclerosis, angina pectoris, and high blood pressure, which of course are all heart diseases. And some herbalists believe that the flowers and leaves possess a greater concentration of the active principle than the berries. The Chinese consider the sour flavor of hawthorn berries useful to stimulate appetite and aid digestion. It is especially regarded as being an effective aid for the digestion and assimilation of dense proteins such as meats. So, medicinally, hawthorn berries make a pleasant and somewhat sour tea. They should not be used with ulcers, colitis, or other heart conditions that display excess heat in the body. Use the herbal essence instead. So, I would say if you have some sort of heart issue going on, to maybe just keep a picture of the hawthorn, call upon its essence, and tell yourself, I confidently move forward in the direction that my heart dictates. This midweek is going to be really about staying open-hearted, really knowing what you want, owning your desires, okay? Okay, because of all this interruption, there's a piece too that I think is important Spirit's trying to convey. You have to have an internal compass. You have to have an internal compass to know, like, what is the end result here, and I'm going to keep going regardless of distractions. Keep going, not just like plow through, but keep a vision, have a full understanding of what you were doing, and for the whole week, why am I staying open-hearted? Why am I trying to understand the full spectrum of my emotions? What is the whole point of this? Well, the whole point is that eventually you want to have a meaningful life and to feel good, right? And so in order to feel truly, authentically good, you have to dig into all the parts that are unseen that you haven't been dealing with. And to do it in a way that makes you feel, I don't want to say in control, but like with intention. Okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Chariot, Cyprus. The Chariot. See what the Chariot has to offer us. And when I think of the Chariot, it's always carrying me with dignity from one place to another, usually in a fast way. The Chariot is the peaceful warrior who's learned how to harness the energy of his will and is receptive to the inner guidance that is always flowing to him. This week is all about really understanding your relationship of self with self. His body and his personality are symbolized by the Chariot. Your body is going to be important here. If you're feeling in a state of dis-ease physically, you got to do something with your diet. You got to do something with moving your body, getting that energy out, learning how to move energy in your body. This is really helpful because this discomfort is distracting, and when you do cleanse the body of toxins and your energetic body of that hucha, that heavy, dense energy, then you're more open to receive that inner knowingness, okay? He uses this vehicle during his manifestation here on Earth as an expression of his true self. Ruled by Cancer the Crab, he is protected against the bombardment of thoughts from the world around him, symbolized by the city or the race consciousness from which he has separated himself. When they're talking about race consciousness, it's like that rat race, that go, go, go feeling that everybody else is doing it, so I'm going to get off the hamster wheel and ask yourself, why am I really living this way? And is it serving my higher purpose? He is liberated from many old patterns that bind him and has learned to distinguish the true desires of the enlightened self from the compulsive desires of an unawakened self. When you're talking about unawakened self, it's like you're just sort of going through life like a zombie, like not really understanding, like, why do I do the things that I do? Is there meaning behind it? Is there intention behind it? Within himself, he embodies all the teaching from the first 6 keys. The celestial symbols on his hat and robe indicate the larger reality that he can now perceive and work with. The blue color denotes the high priestess's consciousness to which he is connected. He is taking the middle way between the polarities of life, thus he has reconciled the lovers within. He is learning how to control his moods and emotions by stilling the mind and listening to the inner guide. There's definitely a theme here, all about the soul journey sanctuary. It's all about learning how to support yourself through anything that you're going through, especially things that are painful, because there's a theme. There's a theme about knowing how to control your moods and emotions and stilling your mind and listening to your inner guide. That's how you support yourself. How do you get to this part? How do you get to this place? Practice. Doing shamanic journey. Doing energetic healing. Visualizing dense areas in your body and asking your spirit guides to pull that density out of you. These are things that, like, on the surface sound like kind of woo-woo, kind of weird, whatever. at the same time, after you go through them, you're like, what an amazing lightness of being. Like when I actually pay attention and tend to my energetic body, I just feel so much better. But when we're living in this race consciousness where we're just like going along like zombies, not paying attention to how we feel, not paying attention to the density in our bodies, the energy in our bodies, not practicing the energetic hygiene, then these illnesses come up and kind of blow up in our face and make us face them. That's what that the Taurus or Uranus and Taurus is all about, like making you face things you not wanted to face. And it's, I think, frankly, better when you actually take the bull by the horns, quite literally, there's the Taurus, and face things with strength. You know, like you're not going to jump in the ring with the bull before you decided that you're physically fit. You're not going to put yourself in a situation where you're setting yourself up for failure. You're going to take the bull by the horns knowing that you have the strength and the resiliency and the agility and the ability to do so. And you teach yourself this, you train yourself for this daily by your practices, your sacred daily practices. Like, why would you go out in the middle of a winter storm without a coat on? Learn the techniques to help you go work through the map of consciousness, through the emotional spectrum, the emotional scale. Help you support yourself through your emotional phases and energy phases, so that when you're feeling, quote, out of control, you know how to bring yourself back to center more. Okay, so within himself, the chariot embodies all the teaching from the first 6 keys. The celestial symbols on his hat and robe indicate the larger reality that he can now perceive and work with. The blue color denotes the high priestess's consciousness to which he is connected. He's taking the middle way between the polarities of life, thus he has reconciled the lovers within. He is learning how to control his moods and emotions by stilling the mind and listening to the inner guide, or the high priest, and he is using the power of concentration, which is a gift given to him from the magician. And I'm pretty sure we had this last week too, so or the week before. So there's a theme here. You be in control and rule over your own domain, and that's not just your inner world; it's also your external world. What do you allow into your life in the way of relationships? Behavior from others, boundaries, that sort of thing. And from the Empress, he has found the place of peace in his heart. All of this is the end goal. Peace in your heart is the end goal. By embracing these gifts, he is victorious. So, Cypress teaches the way of the middle path. I think we went over this last week. I think this is an extension. This is a reminder to continue on the way of the middle path, and to help regulate your energy, and especially be useful for those who experience mood swings from joy to depression, or energy swings from high activity to no activity. It's really important to tend to the cycles of life. And in my opinion, no better way than following nature, the moon cycles, the sun, and just to, if you need some sort of external construct to do it, then follow nature. Nature is wonderful for showing us the cycles of life, the yin and the yang, the waxing and waning, the tides going in, the tides coming out, you know, spring through winter. Look at just so many patterns in this universe on the cycles of life. Look at the way the planets rotate. We just need to tune into it, okay? So it's all about direction from within this weekend. Really learning, you know, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, using our internal compass, essentially, to help us to move our emotions and stay centered, essentially. Within my heart as my guide, I use my will and power to be victorious in all that I do. All right, and then finally we have a card. Welcome if you're just popping on. If you're from the previous card pull party video that got cut off, let me know. I'm going to pull cards for Bridget, Mary, Jody, Bethany, and Krista. If I don't hear from Jody and Krista, I'm just going to pull an herbal card since I have the others, the deck already out. The others have requested an animal card. So now for the energy for the week, kind of overall feel of it, Four of Cups, burdock. We used to use burdock root quite a bit. Four of Cups is another water element. Let's see what burdock tea is about. A woman watching the stream of life appears satiated and disinterested in the offering of the Four Cups before her. Sometimes it seems that despite achieving all the rewards of friendship, family, children, something yet is missing. It may be difficult to feel connected with what is happening in the outer world when we feel disconnected from the self within. This is super important to understand. That sort of, for a fancy word, ennui, E-N-N-U-I, is a French word for just sort of like boredom or a sense of existential angst, kind of like, what am I even doing all this for? If you get into that state, like all the other cards this week kind of want you to overcome this state of why am I even doing this, by having that internal compass, by having that, hey, the reason why is so that I can have a peaceful heart. Sometimes a peaceful heart can feel like boredom if you're prone to drama and stress, if you've lived in the trauma response your whole life. So nothing is lost if we allow a few opportunities and experiences to pass us by. You can get off the rat race, you can, sleep for the whole weekend, you can do whatever, and you may actually feel better for it. Allow the flowing stream to carry with it random thoughts and ideas until it eventually runs clear. Journaling out some random thoughts may really help you get some clarity. Perhaps it's time to contemplate those things which are of more lasting value. If your goal is to reach the top of the mountain, each minute little step up the way may feel feel boring to you, may feel like drudgery, etc. But if you keep in mind that you want to see that vista at the top, that's the reason for the drudgery or whatever you want to call it. Keep that in mind. Perhaps it's time to perhaps it's time to contemplate those things which are of more lasting value, or might it not be time to remain alert and take notice of the further opportunities that life may offer? Don't overlook the gifts offered to you. Be grateful for the smallest blessing in your life, okay? Burdock root, also called the gobo, has blood-strengthening properties and can be used as a blood and lymphatic purifier. It exerts its main influence as a diuretic for the urinary system and skin. Essentially, it cleanses your blood and your lymphatic system. The root can be worn as an amulet to invoke the feelings of being nurtured and cleansed of stagnation. So if you are feeling kind of stagnant, this is important. Keep in mind, like, you too can get you moving, okay? You don't have to wait for some external source to be the thing to move you forward. The seeds can release anger and resentment, and the prickly flower heads can remind one to not take life too seriously. All right, so I am open to the blessings that come my way and find inner contentment each day. There may be a little bit of need to not strive so much, just sort of let yourself be this week, and to not let boredom take over, but peace. Feel peaceful. Not engage in drama. Just relax. So, all right. I'm going to pull a card for Jody and a card for Krista with the herbal deck. Since they're not here. This is the card for Jody, and this is the card for Krista. All right. Jody, if you're following the replay, let's see what we got. One of my favorite herbs. Two of Wands, Basil. Wands, of course, being more fire energy. A noble youth holds the globe in his hand, surveying the unlimited options and possibilities it encompasses. He indicates genuine appreciation of his status and accomplishments. If this is an expanded state of awareness, it can be the very essence of positiveness, but in a lesser sense, it can border on conceit and aloofness. Here lie the ideas of mastery over one's desires and of self-control. This card teaches us to guard against the complacency and inertia that often occurs among those who are materially blessed, yet spiritually empty. Lacking a spiritual perspective on material gains and wealth may create a tendency to mere dreaminess and an inability to follow through with projects one has begun. It could be very straightforward, or you could say that sometimes we're worrying about like maybe making money, or we're worried about the external meaning of whatever we're doing, but really the ultimate goal is to fulfill your soul's purpose. So you need daily activities that are going to help you feel like you're in this state of awareness. And it says in a lesser sense, it can border on conceit and aloofness. Now, what that means is like, don't get too comfortable, I think. Don't get too comfortable around like, oh yeah, I've got it all figured out. Just go with it. Go with it, and know that you have to do daily practices to help you stay on the track that you really want, but really figure out what it is you really want and follow through with those projects once you've begun them. Basil may be worn and smelled throughout the day to evoke the powers of protection and inspiration and to help elevate self-esteem. Growing a plant in the house will keep the area cleared of negativity and will take in the positive ions and energize negative ions. We were just talking about ions. The essence may be taken throughout the day to aid in acknowledging inner ideals and bringing them into manifested reality. There's kind of another little theme here. Like, in order to avoid kind of going off high and to the right this week, stay focused on your goals. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Don't just go blindly into it. Have self-confidence. Have self-worth. Confidence in general, following one's inspiration with action, being protected in one's endeavors. With self-confidence and inner mastery, I move forward with my choices in life. So you definitely get some of that self-confidence from inner knowingness. So that's important. Okay, that was for Jody. And then this other card is for Krista. Ooh. Air energy. I haven't had any air energy yet this week. I don't think so. Nope. Six of Swords. Vervain. The air's been kind of crazy here. The storm is pretty powerful, so okay. Six of Swords. Six of Swords are traveling on a boat to a far off shore. The sun, which can be looked at as rising or setting, indicates a new cycle beginning or an old cycle ending. The journey into a different way of viewing things has begun. A new perspective is unfolding. Allowing the old views to leave will expose a fresh approach. Be willing to let go of the cobwebs in the mind. A new location or job or journey may be necessary to throw one into the new perspective more completely. However, just the willingness to allow thoughts to be open to change may be sufficient. Okay? Try to step back from your problems and situations so that the clear perspective may be obtained. You can have a beginning or an end, or both. The history of Vervain is quite fascinating. Priests called it herba sacra because it is used for sacrifices. Magicians and sorcerers employed an ointment of Vervain Many wore the bruised plant around the neck to prevent headaches, to help with sight, and to protect against venomous bites. In modern times, vervain may again find a place in your seeking to see things from a different perspective by opening up the sixth chakra or third eye. It will aid in releasing congested thinking. Yeah, if you know you need to shift the way you're looking at something, call on vervain, ask for the essence of it to help you open up that third chakra, or the third eye, the sixth chakra, and let it do its work. Get out of the way, basically. A few drops of the herbal essence can be taken as often as needed when one is faced with the need to look at things from a different perspective, or to see things from a different dimension of reality. I open myself to different perspectives about my life. I ride in the boat of inner faith. There you go. Inner faith. I think that is the theme for this week. Inner faith. The thing that'll keep you going when other things are distracting you. If you're on a long journey and the steps in the middle feel like terminal and you never get to the end, just keep going. That's the energy around this. If you have that inner faith and the inner knowingness and that internal compass, you know why you're on this journey. So, all right, there's that. And now it's time for us to pull animal cards. I've got ones for Bridget, Mary, and Bethany. I'm going to set aside the herbal deck here. So I've got Spirit just like really trying to get my attention outside. Stuff keeps hitting the window. the power went out. I think I'm being told to pay attention. Pay attention. All right, Spirit, I'm paying attention. What do you want us to know? Show us with your animals. By the way, winged creatures tend to have, they're great messengers for me. And this week, the winged creatures, there's two that really stuck out for me. And one was the owl. I don't know why it really showed up for me in one of my shamanic journeys. Is helping me take away some negativity. And the other is the hornets. I don't know about you, but hornets can be a royal pain in the neck. I think at one point they were just, I saw somebody describe it online as wings, or assholes with wings. They don't tend to serve any ecological standpoint from what I understand, but I do believe they're God's creatures and they serve some point. And their essence, a hornet, can be very powerful. And so I'm wondering what, of course, owls and hornets. Let me see if the bee is on here. I know the owl's on here. And I'm going to pull that out because that was my animal card for the week. And I wanted to talk about that. Owl's like really important. There's some serious wind going on outside here. Okay. I'm going to talk about owl. And I don't know if hornet is going to be on here. I may have to pull up hornet myself personally to talk about it. But first I wanted to pull up owl and discuss what that meant. 121. So owl can show up for you in many ways, but the energy of owl is really important. especially I think this week, something about this week. You're going to be getting some signs from Spirit this week. An owl is all about omens. Okay, omen, or owl, magic, omens, time and space. Does the truth emerge, casting out deception, silent flight? Sacred medicine bird. Owl is all about deception. Owl medicine is symbolically associated with clairvoyance, astral projection, and magic, both black and white. Owl is called night eagle on several medicine wheels used by the Amerindian teachers. Traditionally, owl sits in the east, the place of illumination, where Brother Eagle comes from. Sometime immemorial, humanity has been afraid of the night, the dark, the unseen. I think that's what we're talking about. Owl represents the night, your shadow self, the part of you that you're afraid of, maybe some uncomfortable truths. This owl helps you process through your dark emotions, in my opinion. It will take away, like if you're on a journey, a shamanic journey, and you ask for it to carry away some of the negativity for you. So traditionally, owl sits in the east, the place of illumination. Since time immemorial, humanity has been afraid of the night, the dark, and the unseen, waiting fearfully for the first crack of morning light. Conversely, night is owl's friend. Okay? Owl hunts its prey at night. Not only can owl see in the dark, it can also accurately pinpoint and identify any sound. This gives it a great advantage when seeking food. Owls are the night hunters. Some native people are fearful of owl and call its feathers deceiver feathers. An owl feather is silent. You cannot hear owl when it flies, but its prey definitely knows when it strikes, for its beak and talons are razor sharp. Owl is oftentimes the medicine of sorcerers and witches. If owl is your medicine, you will be drawn to magical practices and perhaps explore the dark arts. You should resist any temptation to practice black magic or any art that takes energy away from another person or being. If you have owl medicine, these night birds will have a tendency to collect around you, even in the daytime, because they recognize a kinship with you. Is it any wonder that in many cultures, owl is a symbol for wisdom? This is because owl can see that which others cannot, which is the essence of true wisdom. Okay, where others are deceived, owl sees and knows what is there. Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom, had a companion owl on her shoulder, which revealed unseen truths to her. Owl had the ability to light up Athena's blind side, enabling her to speak the whole truth, as opposed to only a half-truth. If owl is your medicine, your personal medicine, no one can deceive you about what you're doing, no matter how they try to disguise or hide it from you. You may be a little frightening to be around, since so many people have ulterior motives, which you see right through. If you're unaware of your medicine power, you may take your keen insights and abilities for granted. Others never do. You may frighten them and reflect their blindness, for you cannot be fooled. Owl medicine people know more about an individual's inner life than that person knows about herself or himself. If you've pulled the owl card, you are being asked to use your powers of keen, silent observation to intuit some life situation. Sometimes you know stuff for other people before they know it, okay? So, owl is befriending you and aiding you in seeing the total truth. Owl can bring you messages in the night through dreams or meditation or shamanic journeying. Pay attention to the signals and omens. The truth always brings further enlightenment. Okay. So, Spirit, thank you for that enlightenment. And I'm going to pull cards for Bridget, Mary, and Bethany. And before I go, I need to pull up some information on the hornet. Spiritual meaning of hornets. And the reason hornets have shown up for me, they're building a nest right at my front doorway. And they haven't quite bothered me yet, but I'm very aware of them. Maybe that's symbolic in and of itself. Clouds are really unsettled right now. They're rumbling and roaring and okay. Bridget's card decided to pop right out. Mary's card popped right out. And Bethany, you got 2 cards. Decided that you needed 2 cards here. Never had that before. So, all right. Bridget. Ooh, my other spirit totem. Jaguar, brother Jaguar. Oof, all about integrity. I love Jaguar. Have you ever watched Animal Planet or Nat Geo? And they have Blue Planet or Planet Earth, and they go to the Amazon in South America. And when they when they film Jaguar, he is just a sight to see. He swims. He is the king of the southern jungle. He's the king of the Amazon. He fights the caimans and he eats caiman. He's the only natural predator for caiman, which are like their version of alligators. Okay, and they'll get into battles to the death in the river. So Sacred Jaguar, teach me to wear my power lightly, to walk with impeccability, to approach life with compassion, and to live up to the integrity of my human potential. So Bridget, there may be something for you here that you are given a responsibility for something, and it's really important that you maintain that responsibility, that leadership role, with integrity, impeccability. That you could abuse your power, but you're not going to. Since the death of Sky God, the godlike being who had come from the stars and led the Maya to prosperity and a golden era of spiritual understanding, his teachings of love, integrity, impeccability, and the power of a compassionate heart had been perverted. Whenever we pull Jaguar, it's always a reminder to take the higher road, to do the right thing no matter what, okay? The distortion of his Jaguar teachings had degenerated to where the priests were sacrificing human beings, foolishly cutting out the victims' hearts to reclaim the power of the golden days of the empire. Forgotten was the authentic power of the honorable and loving heart in Sky God's teachings. The great Jaguar spirit, who was Sky God's totem, roamed the dreams of the Maya, looking for any dishonorable behavior. Misdeeds and abuses of power had diminished the spirit of the Maya and needed to be sacrificed for the survival of the people. The priests who had abused the authority and power bestowed on them quaked in fear, knowing that the day of reckoning had come. Jaguar brought justice by stalking their dreams and devouring their flagrantly dishonorable and greedy misdeeds. Jaguar medicine is integrity and impeccability. Its mission is to devour the unclean aspects of human behavior. Jaguar teaches us the penalties of inappropriate behavior and offers the rewards of good medicine to those who stand in their personal integrity and walk through life in an impeccable manner. If Jaguar is roaming your dream reality today, its primal roar may be rewarding you for maintaining your integrity in some situation where you could have easily misused your authority. You may have been unwilling to pass judgment on another or to be self-serving. This could be just a very simple, you decided to not be judgmental. You may have been unwilling to pass judgment on another, to be self-serving. Were you especially kind to someone or do a good deed that was unexpected? They're very energetically related situations where you can show integrity and impeccability. If so, allow the recognition to fill you with feelings of well-being and continue to serve with compassion and open-hearted integrity. What I mean by energetic situations, they may not be really obvious to the naked eye, and they may be something that's just an internal situation, an internal energetic choice from your end. Do you choose to tell yourself the truth? Do you decide to be honest with yourself? Are you being honest with other people? If someone's being open-hearted with you, are you returning that open-heartedness, or are you being dishonest with them? If they're being dishonest with you, do you choose to be open-hearted with them regardless? Because you know that that's the way you want to be and that's the way you want to interact with others. Do not falter in your resolve to be your personal best at all times. Maintain your dignity, devotion, and compassion, holding to forthrightness and honesty, no matter what the contrary influences. Do not feed any self-important need to be an enlightened one, treating others in a self-righteous manner. Do this for you, essentially. Jaguar medicine teaches you that personal integrity allows for mistakes, embraces forgiveness, and humbly makes self-directed corrections, allowing a rebalanced spirit to triumph once again. So, if you've been in a situation where you're maybe not doing what you're supposed to be doing according to your own standards, well, then you get a second chance. Call on Jaguar to help you rebalance your spirit and energize yourself and do the right thing, okay? That was for Bridget. And now Miss Mary, ooh, you got the fox. Number 25, the fox. I don't think I pulled the fox very often. Fox, where are you? Under the ferns, becoming the forest, so I can learn? Are you watching, invisible to me, trying to teach me to become a tree? Fox is all about camouflage. Wily Fox has many allies in the woodlands, including the foliage, which offers protection and much medicine. Fox is seemingly able to vanish amidst the lush undergrowth of the forest. This flora is Fox's ally. The ability to meld into one's surroundings and to be unnoticed is a powerful gift when one is observing the activities of others. Another natural gift of Fox is the ability to adapt to winter by changing color, like the chameleon. Its rich white winter coat allows Fox to blend into the snow when the leaves no longer linger. Fox medicine involves adaptability, cunning, observation, integration, and swiftness of thought and action. These traits may also include quick decisiveness and sure-footedness in the physical world. Fox's ability to be unseen allows it to be the protector of the family unit. If danger arises, Fox is Johnny on the spot. Naniwaya, Great Spirit in the Choctaw tongue, honors Fox with the duty of keeping the family together and safe. This is accomplished through Fox's ability to observe undetected without making others self-conscious. Fox is always concerned with the safety of family members and is an excellent talisman for those traveling far afield. Well, considering that you are a nanny in Italy and you're from, I believe, England, this is very relevant to you, Mary. If Fox has chosen to share its medicine with you, it is a sign that you are to become like the wind, which is unseen, yet is able to weave into and through any location or situation. You would be wise to observe the acts of others rather than their words at this time. Use your cunning nature in a positive way. Keep silent about who and what and why you are observing. In learning the art of camouflage, you need to test your abilities to pull this off. One test or exercise that may be helpful to you is deciding to be invisible. In doing this exercise, you might try to visualize your body as part of your surroundings, full of the colors of the location you are in. See yourself in your mind's eye. Ooh. Moving with stealth and grace, unheeded by others. If you do it right, it works. You can leave a party unnoticed or become as unobtrusive as a piece of furniture watching the developing drama of the subjects you're studying. While learning from Fox, you might also gain confidence in your ability to know instantly what will happen next. After observing for a while, you will become aware of a certain predictability in given situations and be able to quickly make your move. Fox medicine teaches the art of oneness through its understanding of camouflage. This applies on all levels, from rocks to God. With Fox medicine, you're being asked to see all types of uses for oneness. Much like the clowns at the rodeo, Fox can keep the raging bull from stampeding a friend or family member. Fox can use silly tactics as a brilliant camouflage move. No one could guess the sly power behind such ingenious maneuvers. That was for Mary. And Bethany, you got 2 cards. For some reason, they popped out. Oh, boy. And they couldn't be more different. The mouse and the dolphin. Both quite lovable, though. Okay. I'm going to try to combine these because something about their combination is important. 117. Mouse is all about scrutiny. Mouse, if I could see the world through your tiny eyes, maybe then I would know how to scrutinize. Every detail carries weight, and true to its purpose has weight. Every detail carries weight, and true to its purpose has its perfect puzzle place to stop the three-ring circus. And then dolphin. Mana. Dolphin, breathe with me, breathe of the divine, mana of the universe. In oneness we entwine. So, Mouse says, I'll teach you everything with my whiskers in order to know it. Paradoxically, this is both a great power and a great weakness. It is good medicine to see up close. It is good medicine to pay attention to detail, but it is bad medicine to chew every little thing to pieces. Mouse has many predatory enemies, including birds, snakes, and cats. Since mouse is food for many, it has a highly developed sense of danger at every turn. So-called civilization is a highly complex set of components which calls for more and more organizational skills and scrutiny to detail every year. Mouse is a powerful medicine to have in these modern times. Things that might appear insignificant to others take on enormous importance to mouse because you're seeing it up close. Mouse people anger many other medicine types because they appear to be nitpickers. Mouse people will spot the lint on your coat even if it matches in color. They will try to convince you that the simplest task is fraught with difficulty. They are fixated on methodology. They sort and categorize and file away for later use. They may seem like they are hoarding, but this is the farthest thing from Mouse's mind. They are merely putting everything in order so that they will be able to explore it more carefully at a later date. The chiefs tell us that without Mouse, there will be no systemization of knowledge. Mouse ended Renaissance man and hearkened the age of specialization. Mouse knew from the very beginning that there's always more to learn. One can always delve deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's telling you, like, really pick your niche and, dive deep into it. If your personal medicine is Mouse, you may be fearful of life, but very well organized with a compartment for everything. You should try to see a larger picture than the one staring you in the face. Develop largesse of spirit. Try to become aware of the great dance of life. Realize that even though you may be sitting in Los Angeles, there is also a New York, a moon, a solar system, a galaxy, and an infinite universe. Jump high, little friend. You will glimpse the sacred mountain. If Mouse is in your card spread, its medicine is telling you to scrutinize. Look at yourself and others carefully. Maybe that big hunk of cheese is sitting on a trigger that will spring a deadly trap. Maybe the cat is in the pantry waiting for you. Maybe someone to whom you have delegated authority, such as a doctor, a lawyer, or even a plumber, is not doing the job faithfully. The message is to see what is right before your eyes and to take action accordingly. So kind of pay attention. Maybe that which is on the surface is not what it seems. Everything is worth a second look. But for some reason, you also got dolphin. Dolphin speaks to us of the breath of life, the only thing that humans cannot go without for more than a few minutes. We can live without water and food for days, but oxygen is the source of our sustenance. Within the breath, we encounter the rhythm of energy that all life emits. In changing the rate or rhythmic texture of our breath, we can tap into any other life form or creature. This is very easy to connect with divine energy coming from the Great Spirit, as well as with your own personal rhythms. Dolphin is the keeper of the sacred breath of life and teaches us how to release emotions through dolphin breath. Dolphin creates rhythm, swimming through the water and breathing before submerging, then holding its breath for the duration of underwater travel. As dolphin comes above water again, it blows its breath out in a manner resembling the popping of a cork. We can use the same technique to pull the stopper on our tensions and create total relaxation. This is a good exercise to use before entering the silence. Mana is life force. Mana is present in every atom. It is Great Spirit's essence. Dolphin teaches us how to use life mana through our breath. It revitalizes each cell and organ. It breaks the limits and dimensions of physical realities so that we may enter the dream time. Dolphin was traveling the oceans one day as Grandmother Moon was weaving the patterns of the tides. Grandmother Moon asked Dolphin to learn her rhythms so that he could open his female side to her silvery light. Dolphin began to swim to the rhythm of her tide, weaving and learned to breathe in a new way. As Dolphin continued to use this new rhythm, he entered the dream time. The reality was a new and different place from the seas he had known. Dolphin came to discover underwater cities in the dream time and was given the gift of the primordial tongue. This new language was the sound language that was brought by Spider from the great Star Nation. Dolphin learned that all communication was pattern and rhythm, and that the new aspect of communication was sound. He carries this original pattern to this day. Baby Mouse is telling you to scrutinize this pattern. Okay? Dolphin returned to the ocean of the Great Mother and was very sad until Whale came by and told Dolphin that he could return to be a messenger to the Dreamtime dwellers anytime he felt the rhythm and use of the breath. Dolphin was given a new job. Maybe you need a new job. He became the carrier of messages of our progress. The Dreamtime dwellers were curious about the children of Earth and wanted us to grow to be as one with the Great Spirit. Dolphin was to be the link. If Dolphin has appeared to you today, frothing through the waves in your spread, you are to be a link to some solution for the children of Earth. Really look at the ways, scrutinize the ways that you can use your natural abilities, your ability to compartmentalize, to kind of really look at the small picture. How can that help people? How can that help people to be a solution for the children of the earth? This can be a time when you're able to link with Great Spirit and bring answers to your own questions or to those of others. In addition, this can mean a time of communication with the rhythms of nature. You are put on notice to be mindful of your body's rhythms and the patterns of energy being fed to you from the Creator. This is the theme for the whole week for pretty much everybody. Notice our rhythms, the cycles of life, the patterns of energy we're being fed. Imitate Dolphin and ride the waves of laughter, spreading joy in the world. Breathe and experience the mana so freely given. Break existing barriers and connect to the Dreamtime or Great Star Nation. Know that we are all whole in the eyes of the ever-living one. So if you're having some sort of maybe difficult emotions or things like that, Dolphin allows you to be in your higher self in the Dreamtime, to feel those joyful feelings, to understand. Maybe over here in the 3D world you're feeling really low or dark or whatever, but in the Dreamtime you can feel that bliss. So, and by Dreamtime I mean like in your dreams, quite literally, or in a shamanic journey, in meditation, in your imagination. There's so many other altered states. So it's been a weird interrupted reading, and if you're just popping on, we're about to pop off. I did do readings for Bridget, Mary, Jody, Bethany, and Krista. So I will tag everybody in this, and hopefully you guys will catch it. I know it's Mother Nature decided that we were going to have a storm and interrupt us. So thank you for catching the replay, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and lots of love to you. Bye for now.